Hey everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about how we represent discrete time signals. Okay, so basically we'll see representation of discrete time signals. So the signals which are defined only at discrete instants of time are called as discrete time signals. Okay, so think of it like a snapshot of a signal at a particular time. Okay, so a digital signal is similar to a discrete signal, but the magnitude of the signal is what quantized in the case of digital signal. Fine. So when it comes to discrete time signals, we don't define the amplitude between 2 points. So basically for discrete time signals, the amplitude between the 2 points or between the 2 time instants is not defined. Okay, we use the letter small n to represent the independent variable. For the discrete time signals, the independent variable is time n and it is denoted by what? X of n. I hope this much is clear to you. So basically there are 4 ways to represent discrete time signals. What are that 4 ways? First is what? Functional representation. Then we have graphical representation. Then we have tabular representation. And at last we have sequence representation. Okay, let's start by talking about the functional representation of a discrete time signal. One cool way is through a functional representation where we use a mathematical equation to show the amplitude of the signal with n as our independent variable. Clear? So basically if you see functional representation, so in this the amplitude of the signal is written against the values of n, that is represented as a mathematical equation. For example, see this example, x of n is equal to what? Minus 3 for n is equal to minus 2. For n is equal to minus 1, the value of x of n is what? 2, right? This is what? An amplitude, right? And this is what? The values of n. So, and this is called as what? A functional representation. So by the help of mathematical equation, we have written a functional representation for x of n. So like x of n is equal to 0 for n is equal to 0, for n is equal to 1 the value of x of n is 3, 1 for n is equal to 2 and 2 for n is equal to 3. I hope this is clear to you. Another option is graphical representation. Right? So please take this example because I am going to draw a graphical representation for the same example, same signal, right? So let's move ahead and see this. Fine. So graphical representation. Okay. So in this case, the signal is represented in a 2-dimensional plane. Fine. So the independent variable will be represented in the horizontal axis and the value of the signal is represented in the vertical axis. Hope this is clear to you, right? Now I said you to keep the note of that last example, right? So what was the value of x of n when n was 0? The value was 0, okay? So 0. When n is equal to 1, the value was what? 3. So you have to plot like this and 3 is the amplitude. N is equal to 2, the value of x of n is what? 1. So plot like this and 1. N is equal to 3, the value is 2. N is equal to minus 1, the value is 2. N is equal to minus 2, the value is what? Minus 3. So this is what? A graphical representation. Graphical representation of x of n. Clear? So let me repeat this. Another option is a graphical representation where we plot the signal on a 2-dimensional plane this horizontal axis represents the independent variable while the vertical axis shows the value of the signal. Clear? Fine. Another way to represent a discrete time signal is through a table, which is basically called as what? Tabular representation. Okay. So we use two rows in the table. The first row lists the value of n as our independent variable, and the second row shows the magnitude of the signal at each sampling instant. Okay, so in the first row, what you have to tabulate? You have to tabulate the independent variable n. So write n here. Clear? Now, what were the values of n? We have seen -2, -1, fine, then 0, 1, 2, 3. First row completed. Fine. In the second row, the magnitude of the signal at the sampling instant is tabulated, means x of n. Clear? Now what is the value for this x of n? So last same example you have to refer. So x of n at n is equal to -2. What was the value? It was -3. So right here -3. N is equal to -1. What was the value for x of n? 2. At n is equal to 0, the value of x of n is what? 0. At n is equal to 1, the value is what? 3. At n is equal to 2, the value is what? 1. At n is equal to 3, the value is what? 2. So this is how you can represent what? A signal in tabular style, in table form. I hope this is clear to you. Lastly, we have the sequence representation. So let's see the sequence representation. Clear? Okay. So lastly, we have this sequence representation. This is where we represent the discrete time signal as a one-dimensional array. Okay. So a DT signal, a discrete time signal of a finite duration with the time origin at n is equal to 0 is expressed as follows. How you can express for a finite duration with the time origin at n is equal to 0? So you can represent like x of n is equal to what? -3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 2. Now at n is equal to 0 term, you have to mark by the help of arrow. So this is what? A 0 term. So the arrow mark, this arrow mark denotes the n is equal to 0 term. When no arrow is indicated, the first term corresponds to n is equal to 0. For example, so let's see this example and then you will understand better. So x of n is equal to what? Suppose 3, 5, 2, 1, 4, 7. So this sequence representation or this sequence representation, both are what? Both are exactly same. Both are what? Exactly same. So here x of n is equal to 0 for n smaller than 0. So if there is no arrow mark, it means the first term corresponds to what? N is equal to 0. That is what you should know. Okay. So the symbol of an array indicates the n is equal to 0 term. In the absence of an array, the initial term corresponds to what? N is equal to 0. I hope this much is clear to you. Fine. Now let's see next. An infinite duration discrete time signal with the time origin n is equal to 0 is represented as, till now we were talking about finite duration. Now we have to talk about infinite duration. We'll see this later on in detail, but for now just understood. infinite duration, right? We don't know from where it will start, from where it will end. So it is like infinite duration, minus infinity to plus infinity. So that's why I'm using this type of representation. So 2, 1, 5, 6, 2, 1, 3, and so on, right? And suppose this 5 amplitude you are getting at n is equal to 0. So just mark an arrow so that this value is what? At n is equal to 0. So this is how you can represent an infinite duration discrete time signal with the time origin n is equal to 0. So I hope this much is clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section, right? And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more awesome content like this. Thanks for watching.